Okay, today's installment, number 2 in our series, we are going to begin by roughing out the neck from our block of cherry lumber. And we have the top and the side of the neck. That's going to be helpful. But before we do that, we're also going to take a couple of thin slices off of this neck. It's much bigger than we need to have it. We're going to take a couple of thin slices that are going to become the top and the sides as well. That's part of the whole goal here. Now, you can buy thin lumber already cut, and that's helpful if you don't happen to be able to have access to one of these table saws. But with a table saw on a ukulele, you can do a pretty good job of roughing out your lumber. I'm going to set the blade at about 1 inch and make one pass, flip the board over, make the next pass, and then I'll raise the blades and make 2 more passes. I don't have a safety guard on this blade. You have to decide what's okay for you. For me, the safety guard would not allow me to do this kind of cutting, and so my safety is going to be in the way that I hold my hands and my situational awareness. That's entirely something that you have to decide for you. But first, the 2 slices. Pass 1, flip the same direction. Raise the blade. Now here's our first rough piece of wood. I'm going to cut 1 more off just the same as that, and then we're going to move on, but I'm not going to show you that in the video. Next thing on our agenda is to chop off the block. We've taken our pieces of wood off of this. We're going to chop off our block at about 13 inches and use that to finish up our neck. And here comes our neck block. Here we have the piece that is going to become our neck. My personal recommendation when you make these instruments is make lots of copies of your plans. Once you've made lots of copies of your plans, you can cut the copies out and paste them directly onto the wood. I'm going to begin with the side profile of our musical instrument. So we're going to cut that out. So here is our rough neck block before cutting the side profile. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut the rough profile of the side of the neck, and we're going to do that on our bandsaw, and we're going to do it very carefully, making sure we do not stray inside the line. We can always stray outside the line and sand the material off, but it's hard to sand the material back on. So here goes work on the bandsaw. I want to call your attention to the cut around the inside of the heel of the bend. That's the place where the bandsaw is going to try and drift, the blade is going to try and wobble, and so we're going to cut that extra slow while we do that part of the cut. Okay, so we're going to cut out our top profile, and one of the things I want you to notice is I saved that chunk that I cut out of the inside of the neck. As I save that chunk, it's going to serve as a perfect base to help me cut the top profile. Otherwise, it'd be really tough to cut that on our bandsaw. So, top profile. Got our glue on it. Bring it across. Set it on our profile. Make sure it's square, and this is going to become our top profile. Now, you don't have to cut those lines perfectly. The bandsaw will do a fine job of cutting the lines. All right. Okay, so here's our completed rough neck block, and it's almost done. There's just a couple more things we need to do. But we can take away these pieces, and pull out this piece, and I basically have my rough ukulele neck. I do need to profile the sides to give it the dovetail shape on the edge, and I need to profile the peg head. There's a couple of things I need to check to decide when I profile the peg head though. Do I want the line to run straight up and down with regards to the instrument, in which case I'm going to cut it on this block, or do I want the lines to run back like a regular piece of wood, in which case I've got to cut this profile, but I need to make sure that this piece is flat with the blade. I'm going to do the latter, and I'm actually going to do it by taking the same cutout and I'm going to put it on the back side so that I can cut the back of this peg head profile. There's our upper profile, glued and ready to go. Cutting that top of the peg head. And the last thing we need to do is make our cut across from here. So I'm going to adjust the angle on the table until my angle is exactly what I want. Cut straight and then move out. And that, my friends, is our rough cut neck. Hey, I lied to you. I'm going to show you one more thing. We're going to sand this paper off, and then we're going to call this a rough profile neck. This is the easy way of transferring marks. Do you not see how long and hard I slaved over that? Here we have a solid carved neck blank. No joints, ready to go.